Hello, dear yogis. Our class was all about embracing stillness, but apparently also embracing imperfection because I forgot a stretch on the second side. My apologies, and I hope you enjoy this class. Welcome to the Yoga Method. Today's practice, we encourage you to embrace stillness after the busyness of the holidays. So beginning in Sukhasana, easy cross leg with your left leg in front of your right. And let's begin by closing down our eyes and just dropping into the awareness of our bodies, of our breathing. And just notice how stillness feels in your body. Trust that even in stillness, there is transformation unfolding. So take a deep breath in with us, in through the nose, sigh it out through the mouth, let it go. Just do two more. In through the nose, out through the mouth. One more time. Full breath in through the nose. Sigh it out the mouth, let it go. And then just gently begin to open your eyes. And when the time is right for you, just taking a gentle twist towards your left knee and easing your way into rotation so you can either leave that foot grounded on the earth or join ground in a modified half lotus. So as we explore a little bit of flexion and rotation, in each moment there is the opportunity to still embrace our stillness and just really feel how the body is feeling as we pause and we breathe. So as we stay, perhaps the opportunity to deepen arises, and maybe it doesn't. Just feeling how the body is feeling and honoring the body in this moment. Please take one more full deep breath as you are. And easing your way up and out of that shape when the time is right. I'll invite you to take a gentle twist with your left hand catching your right knee and your right hand grounding you for support behind you, exaggerating the length of the spine as we breathe in and seeking rotation as we breathe out. How tall can you grow as the breath enters the body? And is there a little bit more spaciousness arising for your rotation? Just taking one more breath, please. And on your next inhalation, let your eye gaze return. And on the out breath, release your twist, grounding into your left hand, now reaching high with your right, easing your way over into a gentle side bend. So firmly plant into your left hand to exaggerate the opening through the right side of the body. And please notice what's unfolding within your pelvis, keeping the pelvis grounded, keeping the pelvis level. We can gaze to the left hand upon the earth or rolling towards the top hand, eye gaze connecting to your palm. Sending 3 more breaths deep into your right lung. One more full, deep, generous breath in. And on your exhalation, gazing to the earth if you're not already, before easing your way up and out of that shape. Pop your hands behind you and just take your feet wide out in front for a moment. We'll invite you to move your right knee towards the earth and open your left knee out to the side. Press your pelvis towards your left and gazing over your left shoulder just for a few breaths. And when you and your body are ready, you'll return to the midline just for a moment. Be generous with your stance, and then easing your left knee towards the middle of the mat, opening outwards with the right, pressing energetically through your left hip as you gaze over your right shoulder. Breathing in, breathing out, creating that audible sound by gently constricting the back of your throat. Just one more exploratory breath in and out. We'll gently return to the midline, please. It'll be your left leg in first with your right leg in front. Taking a moment once again just to establish the length of the spine as you grow a little taller into the space above you. And then turning your shoulders towards your right knee, framing your right knee with your hands. And begin just to descend. The moment you feel any sensation, you have done enough. So please never feel like you need to push the body beyond just the realm of gentle sensation. Close your eyes and feel the ground beneath you. Allow it to support you as you settle into stillness, as you settle into this moment. One more breath when the time is right for you. And on the in-breath, we gently return back with the shoulders stacked over the pelvis before spinning into a gentle twist. Right hand finding your left knee, left hand grounding behind you, acting like a second spine. Revolving with each exhalation. And on the in-breath, we continue to seek a little bit more lift, a little bit more lightness and length. One more full, smooth, deep breath with sound. And on your next inhalation, our eye gaze returns before releasing the twist as the breath comes out of the body. Ground with your right, reach with your left. Exaggerate the length first before you ease your way over into lateral flexion. So keeping the hand and the elbow grounded, anchoring equally through the pelvis, and exploring a gentle rotation towards the ceiling. At the same time, we are easing our way over to the right, gazing to the bottom hand or gazing to the palm of your top hand. How deeply can you breathe into your left lung? One more full, beautiful, deep breath in and out. On the in-breath, easing your way up and out of that shape. Release your hands behind you, and we're coming into just a modified pigeon pose. We're going to call this 90-90. So you'll swing just gently around so your right shin is parallel to the short edge of your mat, and your left shin is parallel to the long edge of your mat. Variation 1 will ease our weight over into our right hand, taking some of the strain out of the stretch. Variation 2, you'll frame your foot and your knee, so your shoulders are now square to your shin and square to the short edge of your mat. Please take a breath in and really exaggerate the length of the spine and the lift of the heart, and then easing your way in any amount that the body will allow. So as we pause at the first sensation, we just notice if there's any adjustments that are needed. And as we stay patiently focusing on our breath, encouraging our nervous systems to release, there may present an opportunity to move just a little bit deeper. You're welcome to use your block to support your forehead. You could stack 2 fists, one upon the other. And then once again, just dropping into the awareness of your breath and really embracing and noticing how stillness feels in your body. Let's take 3 more conscious breaths. Where do you feel this? And how does this feel to your body? One more smooth, full breath with sound. And when you are ready, just grounding through your hands, lifting through your heart space. We'll take all the weight into the right hip so we can bring the left leg around. And once we've arrived there, we'll thread our right foot over so that the pinky toe side of the foot is landing on the earth. You'll stack your knees as much as it feels right for you. And then please begin by just exaggerating your posture. And this might be the very best option for you. Just focusing on the length of the spine and the lift of the heart. Variation 2, we'll take a hold of our knees, maintaining the lift of the spine and easing our way forward any amount that feels wonderful to our body. Your hands can rest on your knees, on the floor, or perhaps reaching for your foot. Please relax your head, release your shoulders, and once again, I invite you to close down your eyes. So after the busyness of the holidays, there's a rush to return to our normal routines, our normal pace. But could we use this time to consider which parts of normal are worth returning to, and which parts of normal do we wish to leave behind? Just take 3 more breaths. When the time is right for you, on your next inhalation, you'll lift through your head, you'll lift through your hearts. On the exhalation, I'd love for you to sit tall momentarily, and we'll come into just a gentle little bit of rotation. Variation 1, stay really tall, focusing on the breath, focusing on your posture. And variation 2, you're sliding towards the pinky toe side of your foot. Maybe you're holding on by flipping your thumb. And with your left hand, you can either leave it grounded or maybe reach before wrapping it into the curve of your lower back. So creating dynamic rotation by using the abdominals, by using our arms, but at the same time really embracing this quality of stillness, of softness, as we stay and breathe for 3 more breaths. One more smooth, glorious breath in and out. On your in-breath, release your arm as you sit tall, and on your exhalation, releasing your twist. Take both legs out long, give them a little shake, a little release, and then send the hands high on your in-breath. Bend your knees as much as you need to as we ease our way into a forward fold. We love bent knees, so if it feels better for your lower back to maintain softness in the knees, please do. If the opportunity arises to move a little bit deeper, take it. But then settle into this moment, allowing your head to release, allowing your shoulders to relax, allowing your spine to cascade forward, flooding the breath into the back of the body. Let's take one more expansive breath in and out. And on your inhalation, slowly, smoothly lift your heads, lift your hearts. And on the out breath, we sit tall and open to the long edge of our mat, coming into a wide leg forward fold. Once again, please bend your knees as much as you need, or use your hands behind you for support, or both. But if it feels like there's room to work with, the hands can rest on the thighs, the shins, the floor. Easing your way in lovingly, respectfully, until you feel just a gentle, subtle amount of sensation. I invite you to just relax your head, your shoulders. Using a block to support your forehead, you could stack two hands upon each other by closing down the windows of the eyes, focusing on the quality of the breath, slowly moving in, ever so slowly moving out, embracing your stillness. Three breaths remain. Three more opportunities to release a little bit more tension. When you are ready, on your inhalation, you'll lift your heads, you'll lift your hearts, pausing. And on the exhalation, easing your way back. We're coming to 90-90 on the other side. So please take your left shin and create it so it's parallel to the short edge of your mat. Your right shin is now parallel to the long edge of your mat. To begin with, take all of the weight into your left hand and just feel how this shape is feeling in your hips. Option 2, you'll frame your foot and you'll frame your knee. So right hand by your foot, left hand by your knee. Please take a breath in momentarily to lift, to lengthen, to extend. And then easing your way in any amount that feels right for your body. There's no need to go any deeper. If you are feeling a sensation, a gentle stretch, you are doing it perfectly. But please really take a moment here, settling in, feeling how the earth supports you no matter how much you let go. And as the body begins to release, unravel, just easing in a little bit deeper, never rushing, never forcing the body. How slowly can you breathe? How smooth can you make your breath? Taking one more full, deep, mindful breath. And when you are ready, you'll press the earth away. You'll rise tall up and out of the shape, Before taking the weight into your left hand, shifting into your left hip so you can bring your right leg all the way around. And once you've done that, you'll thread your left leg over so the pinky toe is on the floor. So it may be down around the shin, about the knee, but if it feels like there's room, you just tuck it up a little bit higher. Now your right foot might want to roll in. You'll just draw the toes back into dorsiflexion. And variation 1, our hands can be behind us and nothing more is needed. If you are feeling your right hamstring, if you're feeling your left hip, just stay where you are. Variation 2, hands catch the knees, but we maintain the lift of the heart, the length of our spine. And easing our way in only if it feels good to our body, only if it feels therapeutic to our body. And once you have found the perfect expression of this posture for you, we close our eyes, we release our head, our shoulders, our effort, and we just breathe. Noticing sensation without labeling it, without judging it. We are just noticing sensation. And we're noticing as we stay patiently, the body begins to release. The tension begins to fade. And a new level of spaciousness begins to reveal itself in the body. Three deep breaths. Last 2. One more full deep breath, please. And on your next inhalation, you'll simply lift your head, lift your heart as you open your eyes. And on the out breath, easing your way up and out. I have a little ant who's become my friend. There we go. Before unraveling the legs. Please come into Baddha Konasana with the soles of your feet together. And once again, I'll invite you to bring your hands behind you to start with. So how tall can you grow as you press into the earth with your hands, lifting into a little tiny back bend shape? And then using the muscles in the back of the pelvis just to encourage the knees a little closer to the earth. Taking a moment in this active Baddha Konasana, butterfly. And then when you are ready, you have the option, but you do not need to take it, to catch your ankles or to hold your feet. And then once again, exaggerate the lift first before you begin to ease your way forward, leading with your heart, landing the elbows perhaps on the inner thigh, gently pressing into the inner seam of the leg. And then please tuck your chin, bow your head, and roll as deeply into the shape as it feels good for you. Can you find the pause at the top of your inhalation? Can you find the pause at the base of your exhalation? And is there any little modification, any little adjustment you might make so that this feels even better to your body? Just one more. Full, smooth, deep breath. And on your inhalation, rolling upwards, lifting your head, lifting your heart, even lift your chin before you cross your ankles to make your way over onto your hands and knees. If your knees don't appreciate that, just swing your legs around instead. But let's take child's pose. So knees wide, big toes together, or you're welcome to leave your knees together, finding the preference that feels best for you. And please just bow your head. Feel once again the earth and your mat supporting you, no matter how much you let go. Surrendering all of the effort. Taking one more breath, feel the ripple of the inhalation roll upwards from the base of your spine all the way to the crown of the head. And when that last little bit of your exhalation has left the body, we'll lift the head just momentarily to walk our hands towards the right. And I'd like for you to stack your left hand on top of your right before you settle back into stillness again. So resting your head where it feels best for you. And then please close down your eyes. And I'd like for you to take your awareness and your breath into the left side of your torso. Noticing how the in-breath increases the sensation. And how the exhalation eases the tension away. Taking 2 more breaths, closing down the eyes so you can really feel the stretch and the sensation. Breathe as slowly as you can so you can savor this last little bit of sensation. And how slowly, how mindfully can you move to the other side? So when the time is right for you, hands walking towards your left, stacking your right hand on top of the left, and then settling in, nestling back in. Feeling now the sensation through the right side of the torso and into the right lung. Can you feel your ribs expand as the breath floods into the body? And how they relax with the release of your breath. One more breath, please. Before mindfully, slowly returning back to the midline, please. We'll rise up onto our hands and knees. We'll take our right foot forward. And with our hands temporarily on the inside of our right foot, we'll take a moment to check that our knee is above our ankle. And we're hugging our right knee in towards our right shoulder as we allow the pelvis to descend. I'd like for you to keep your back toes tucked so you can keep a little bit of energy and integrity in the back leg. Take 2 breaths here. So on the in-breath, you're really once again finding length through the spine. Could you slide your shoulders away from your ears as you allow the pelvis to descend with each exhalation? Hopefully feeling this through your left hip flexor. You might also be feeling it through your right hamstring and your right inner thigh. I'd like for you to take one more deep, smooth breath with sound. And then please slide your right hand on top of your right knee and take a twist towards Antanai. So whatever is on the earth, please press down into it in order to lift upwards. And by creating rotation at the same time we're stretching through our hips, you just feel a slightly different sensation. Take 2 more breaths here. Closing your eyes if you wish. One more full deep breath before returning your eye gaze to the earth, and we're moving into a hamstring stretch, a half Hanumanasana. So we'll frame the foot, we'll walk the hands back, we'll lift through the right toes. If the earth is feeling too far away, we can always use our hands on our thigh or even on our hips. Variation 2, hands are resting on the earth. And I'd like for you, as always, to take a moment to establish your spinal position, the lift of the spine. And then exaggerate the action of drawing your right hip back, left hip forward. Taking 2 more breaths here. One more breath before we tuck the chin and just explore a little bit more flexion. So creating even a little bit of a neural stretch for some of us. So chin towards our chest, and you can deepen into this as far as your body approves. Just one breath at a time. One more breath. On your inhalation, you'll slowly lift through your head, lift through your heart. Bring both hands to the inside of your right foot, and that'll just allow you to swing that leg around. And when you are ready, we'll just repeat that on the other side. So it'll be your left foot stepping forward. Both hands on the inside of the left foot. Consciously stacking left knee over the ankle as you press into the 4 corners of your left foot. Our right toes are tucked. We're allowing the hips to descend. And at the same time, we're pressing down into the hands to lift the heart, to extend the spine. Shoulders slide away. Where do you feel this? And does this feel good to your body? If it doesn't, please just readjust, easing back a little bit further. One more breath as you are. Before we slide the left hand upon the left knee, and we're pressing down into the hands, one on the floor, one on the knee, to create a little bit of rotation through the spine. Changing the angle changes the sensation. But as soon as we have found the new position, our only concern is our breath. Feeling the sensation once we have found the alignment. One more expansive breath. And on your exhalation, return your eye gaze as we begin to shift the hips back into half Hanumanasana, Ardha Hanumanasana, or hamstring stretch. So once we've arrived here, if there is too much sensation, we are sliding the hands to the pelvis or the thigh. Variation 2, hands on the block or hands on the earth. So we draw the toes back on the left foot. We also draw the left hip backwards. Exaggerate the lift of your heart, the length of your spine. Just staying here for 3 more breaths. Soaking up that sensation. And then just checking in with your own body. If there is a little bit more space to explore, we're now tucking the chin in to create a little bit more of a neural stretch. And then easing our way further only if the body allows. Remembering we can always choose again, testing out a different position. And if that position just does not feel glorious, joyful, therapeutic, we are easing our way out immediately. 2 more breaths, 2 more opportunities to lengthen your hamstring. And when the time is right, the inhalation will lift our heads, our hearts. We'll bring our hands to the inside of the foot simply so we can swing that leg back. And let's just take one more moment in child's pose with knees wide, big toes together. Releasing our efforts. This gesture of surrender. The mind surrendering to the wisdom of the heart. The ego releasing to our inner intelligence, our inner intuition. One more breath. Before we gently ease our way down onto our abdominals, just pausing in Sphinx pose before we come into our Shavasana. So however you lower yourself down onto your abdominals, if Sphinx pose just does not feel divine today, you're welcome just to release your chin to your hands and allow this to be your Sphinx pose. Variation 2, you're following ground with your elbows stacking directly beneath your shoulders. A little pressure down through the hands and through the elbows will create a little more extension. But at the same time, we want to really allow the abdominals and the glutes to relax so that we are finding a really deep sense of relaxation through the spine, through the pelvis. If you'd like, please take a couple more breaths. And when you are ready, you'll lower all the way down at a Sphinx if you're not already there. And just rolling over onto your back when the time is right for you. So you might slide one arm above you, just rolling onto your side before readjusting yourself. Once you come onto your back, you might feel like me and need to hug your knees in just to really release your lower back first. So bringing one knee up, bringing the other knee up, just hugging yourself tightly as you open up those lower lumbar vertebrae. And if child's pose, or pardon me, if happy baby pose is calling you, taking that time as well. Just to stack knees over ankles, knees above armpits. And I invite you once again to consciously embrace your stillness, surrendering any tension that remains in the back of your body. And in a moment, I'm going to come into just traditional Shavasana with legs out long. And Grant's going to move into legs up the wall, so just for another restorative way of coming into this final resting time of our practice. So legs up the wall is a really amazing way of creating a beautiful hamstring stretch without any effort, but it's also a gift to our circulatory system and a gift to our lymphatic system as well. So when you're ready, either joining him with his legs up or joining me in Shavasana. And you're also welcome to come into a seated position if you'd prefer. Pregnancy option in third trimester is to lay on your right side. So closing down the eyes, whichever posture you've chosen. And just as we began the practice with a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth, I'd like you to do 3 of those, please. So consciously take a full breath in and just sigh it out. 2 more. One more. In through the nose, out through the mouth, sigh it out, just let it go. Allow the breath now to find its own rhythm. No longer imposing our will. Allowing the body and the breath to find their own rhythm. Consciously relaxing the top side of the body just a little more. Consciously relaxing the back of your body just a little more. And could you allow your whole body to relax just a little more? Yogis. It is time to begin to gently and slowly reawaken our bodies. Please begin simply by deepening your breath, expanding your awareness. And when the time is right for you, inviting gentle, mindful movement back into your fingers, into your toes, allowing those movements to become a little larger as your wrists, your ankles, your shoulders, maybe even your neck becomes involved. If you're with Grant, you're going to begin to bend your knees so that you're hugging your knees towards your chest as you slide your feet on the wall. If you're with me in Shavasana, we're bending our knees one at a time, hugging our knees towards our chest again. If there's room, you're taking a very gentle rock from side to side, feeling length returning in your lower back as you mobilize gently. And then whatever side you can roll onto, traditionally in restorative practices we roll to our left, but sometimes space will not afford that, so whatever side your body can roll onto. Just taking a moment more with your eyes closed. And just within you, feeling the stillness. Before you press the earth away, rising up to a seated position with your eyes remaining closed, coming into any seated position that feels comfortable to you with your hands coming to your heart center. Return the awareness to your breath, feeling the stillness within you. A place that you can retreat to any time of the day. Silently, internally, we always end our practice by consciously sending out our love, our hopes, our prayers out into the world. And then we take one last final breath together, closing our practice with a bow. Namaste. Thank you for sharing your time and your energy and your practice with Grant and I. We hope to see you soon. Namaste.